In today's episode, I dress down the commanding general. Plain background, looking at camera. Please. Spare parts. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. I dress down the commanding general. I recently returned to the IT world, and this story recently returned to my mind. We are having network issues here at work, so I decided to go ahead and jot this down. I know this is military heavy, but still concerning IT. This happened about 16 years ago when I was deployed to Eastern Europe with the Army. I was a member of the G6, basically military help desk. Despite my rank, E4/specialist, I was one of the go-to people for tech problems. Cast. $Me at the time, a lowly specialist, E4, but part of the head tech team, lost hopelessly in the pursuit of getting my E5, sergeant rank. $SGM, my sergeant major, E9, basically my big boss on the enlisted side of things. $CG, commanding general, the boss of the entire mission. For you civilians out there, he was the equivalent of a CEO. $CSM, command sergeant major, my $SGM boss, he would be like a COO. Now for some military context, we had two networks, the NIPRNet, non-classified, and the CIPRNet, classified. Then there was the top secret network. All of these were regulated by AR 25-2, which laid out very specific rules for all of these networks. One of which was you do not under any circumstances have the NIPRNet and CIPRNet on the same computer. There are even rules for laying out the cabling, saying like you can't have NIPR and SIPR cables within a foot of each other. Now, as you can probably imagine, the majority of these people were up in age and really didn't know the ins and outs of technology, etc. $SGM got it though. He told us that he was just a nerd and we lower enlisted, sergeants and below, were the geeks, and while he was trying to become a geek, he would trust us with the mission, and anything that we wanted to do, as long we could justify it, he would take it to the brass, and keep the brass off our asses. So one day, $SGM and I were walking and talking about some aspects of the mission. Usual type stuff. We happened to walk past the $CG office, and we hear from inside. $CG, $SGM. Op. Need to talk to you. So we look at each other and silently said to each other, now what? So we dutifully walk into his office and lock up, parade rest. $SGM and me, yes sir? $CG, yeah, I was just wondering if it would be possible to have the NIPRNet and CIPRNet on my computer here. I don't want to have to go to another room to check the CIPRNet. My gut just flipped. I just looked at $SGM. $SGM, OP, you want to handle this? I could only imagine the look on my face towards the SGM. He had totally thrown me under the bus/half-track. I looked at the $CG and took a breath. $Me, sir, permission to speak freely? $CG, of course, go ahead. I took a deep breath, say a very quick prayer, and look at him dead in the eyes and said, Sir, are you outside your mind? $CG, taken aback, excuse me, specialist OP? $Me, sir, AR 25-2 clearly states that all NIPR and SIPR connections must be on different machines, and the SIPR computers go through a completely different imaging procedures than the NIPR computers do. More policies are put in place to prevent removable media, and other registry entries are put in place so that rogue software cannot be installed. But I tell you what, sir, if you want me to do that, fine. I will do it under protest. While I am at it, I'll put in a third network card to where you can have the top secret network on this unit so you won't have to go to the SCIF, the top secret squirrel building, to get your high-level briefs, and you won't be that far away from your coffee maker. And when all the alarms go off at the U.S. Army Europe, National Guard Bureau, DoD, don't come crying to me. Oh, you want me to run it to the Hooch barracks too? $CG, specialist. $Me, gulp, yes, sir? $CG, you've made your point. Both of you are dismissed. About face and walk out. Get out to the hallway. $SGM grabs my shoulder and spins me around and glares me down. $SGM, IT specialist OP, you don't talk to a general that way. $Me, I had permission to speak freely, and I was just quoting regulation and pointing out how insane his idea was. I did nothing wrong. $SGM asterisk, just glaring at me. And eventually turns into a smile. Asterisk, good job. Punches me on the shoulder. I have never sweated so many bullets. The next day, I get a call from the $CSM, telling me to get to his office immediately. Oh boy. So I snap to, head over the $CSM office. Knock 3 times, custom, he says get in here now. Oh. Me at parade rest yes, $CSM? $CSM, specialist OP, what in the hell did you tell the old man yesterday? I knew the $CG was out of the office, because we enlisted only that term behind his back. I know, wrong. Me, $CSM, I just reminded $CG about the regulation regarding network protocols as described in Army Regulation 25-2. $CSM, I know the regulation specialist OP. Me, yes, $CSM. He got up from his desk and walked up right in front of me. I am about 5 feet 11 inches. He is well over 6 feet, somewhat intimidating. $CSM, you know what problem I really have, specialist OP? Me, no, $CSM. $CSM, I have been wanting to talk to him like that since the very beginning of the mission, and you got by with it. You know how bad that makes me look. I should bust you back to civilian. Me, I just did my job, $CSM. $CSM, I know. And you're good at it. Me. $CSM, starting to smile and calm down, and that's why I am so happy you are on this mission with us. Me, internally keeping my nerves in check, I'm honored to be here, $CSM. $CSM slaps me on the shoulder. At ease OP, you did the right thing. Now, I do have an email problem. Me, internally eye-rolling and thinking figures. I helped $CSM out and returned to my desk. I was promoted to sergeant a few weeks later. ETA, I want everyone here who has said that I yelled at the general. I did not. I used a stern voice, yes, but I did not yell at him. I put that text in bold just to emphasize my frustration with such a request, considering the security issues that we were already dealing with after the TOA, transfer of authority, that were left to us by the previous unit, and that request almost pushed me over the brink. While using sarcasm, I kept my composure, and my voice at a respectful level. Also, I think that overall my promotion was just a happy coincidence, and I am not saying that event had anything to do with it. I had done my time, I had earned my stripes, and it was just weird that it happened so close to that event. Just a weird coincidence. Lastly, I appreciate all the upvotes and awards. I didn't expect this to blow up like it has. HOOAH to my military brothers and sisters. Plain background, looking at camera. Please. So I manage the keycard subdepartment, don't ask why, it's part of IT. We got stuck with the service eons ago, and now it's ours, at a place with like over 10K users. We allow self-submitted pictures as long as they meet basic ID picture requirements, looking at camera, professional/blank background, etc. So I get a request for a card from someone on behalf of the head honcho himself's wife, who does not work here, by the way. There is no picture attached. I respond asking for a picture. He counters saying that he emailed it to my supervisor. I look over and see that my supervisor is in fact out for the day, and who knows when he'll be back. Needless to say, I ask for a picture. So he submits one. The photo meets all of the requirements. So, safe in my knowledge of the clearly outlined requirements, I reject it and ask for a new one, politely outlining said requirements. They respond saying to please print it. I stand my ground. Rules are rules, even for Big Boss Man's wife. They don't respond for 3 weeks until suddenly I get a message to the tune of we were just wanting to check in on this request, is the card printed? No. No, it isn't. I poke my boss and my boss to let them know there may be some heat coming down from up high. Sure enough, I see the ticket being edited by the executive technology consultant for the bigwigs himself. I brace for a shitstorm. A day later, I receive an update to the request. It's the same picture, but with the background photoshopped out. They had a guy who gets paid exorbitant sums of money Photoshop the photo, and mind you, it's only a passable Photoshop job, instead of just taking a picture on a phone camera in front of a blank wall. Fine. I don't care anymore. I print the card. My takeaway is that people in charge don't like being lined up against a wall by us plebs, even if it is just to take a picture. Spare parts. I had a gig supporting a company's mainframes when PCs first started becoming popular. The IT director, Bob, whose technical expertise didn't extend much past punched cards and paper tape, decided that no one in his empire should ever have a PC that was better than his. We got a new shipment of PCs, and of course the first one went on a table in Bob's office. We were pretty sure he never used it because every time we went into his office, it was buried under an ever-growing pile of manuals, magazines, memos, and coffee cups. A month went by and someone needed a replacement keyboard. So after Bob went home, we snuck into his office, moved all the crap off his PC, and swapped out his keyboard. Then another guy's monitor got little wonky, so we took Bob's. Within a few months we had taken the memory, hard drive, power supply, coax card, and power cable. Pretty soon all he had left was the empty case. And when the company had the next round of upgrades, Bob was first in line because he was a power user.